From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the daily news for April 27th, 2026. These are the stories we are covering at this hour. With goals of Iran war unfulfilled, Netanyahu's government faces unhappy public as elections loom. Iran's government is still in power. Hezbollah and Hamas have not been defeated. U.S. President Donald Trump's interests may be diverging from Israel's. Wars with Iran and its proxies have not gone according to plan for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and that could mean trouble for Israel's longest-serving prime minister in elections scheduled for later this year. Many Israelis are dissatisfied with the Netanyahu government's wartime leadership, according to a recent poll. At the start of the U.S.-Israeli campaign against Iran in late February, Netanyahu said the goal was to degrade the Islamic Republic's military, eradicate its nuclear and ballistic missile programs, and create the conditions for its overthrow. While Iran's military has been badly damaged, it is still a threat to neighbors and ships in the Strait of Hormuz, and Netanyahu's other goals remained unfulfilled when a ceasefire was announced earlier this month. Israel's latest war with Hezbollah in Lebanon has also been cut short. Netanyahu said he agreed to a truce at the request of Trump, but that Israel was not finished yet with the Iran-backed militant group. Israeli forces are still occupying a 10-kilometer deep swath of southern Lebanon. Meanwhile, closer to home, the U.S. military has struck on an alleged drug boat and killed 3 in the eastern Pacific. The latest U.S. military strike on a boat accused of ferrying drugs in the eastern Pacific Ocean killed 3 people Sunday, according to a social media post by U.S. Southern Command. The Trump administration's campaign of blowing up alleged drug trafficking vessels in Latin American waters has gone on since early September and killed at least 186 people in total. Other strikes have taken place in the Caribbean Sea. The military has not provided evidence that any of the vessels were carrying drugs. After Sunday's attack, Southern Command posted a video on X showing a boat moving swiftly in the water before an explosion left it in flames. It repeated previous statements by saying it had targeted the alleged drug traffickers along known smuggling routes. Well, the attacks began as the U.S. built up its largest military presence in the region in generations and came months ahead of the raid in January that captured then Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. He was brought to New York to face drug trafficking charges and has pleaded not guilty. President Donald Trump has said the U.S. is in armed conflict with cartels in Latin America and has justified the attacks as a necessary escalation to stem the flow of drugs into the United States. And finally, King Charles is still planning on visiting the U.S. as planned, despite security concerns after the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting. Buckingham Palace confirmed on Sunday that King Charles and Queen Camilla will still make their 4-day visit to the United States this weekend as planned, despite questions around security following the previous night's shooting outside the White House Correspondents' Dinner. After a security review by both the United Kingdom and the United States, the King will fly into Washington on Monday and still plan to meet with President Donald Trump at the White House with some operational changes. The King and Queen are most grateful to all those who have worked at pace to ensure this remains the case and are looking forward to the visit getting underway tomorrow, a palace spokesperson said. Trump himself told Fox News earlier Sunday that he still expects to meet with the King, a much-anticipated visit as tensions rise between the United States and the UK over the war in Iran. That's news at this hour. The PEP Radio YouTube channel provides news updates daily between 1 p.m. and 2 a.m. PEP Radio is available on the Live 365 app, the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, Roku, and Alexa. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.